I try and write songs where it's sort of like about specific things to me, but I keep it vague so people can when they listen to it, they can put their own emotional stuff onto it. I like doing lots of different stuff. I'm influenced by loads of different types of music. I love so many different types of music. I don't think it's natural for a human being to only want to do one style of creativity. Because the last thing they want, mate, is for all people, black, white, man, women, all different genders and all that jazz to get together and go, actually, you know what, you lot are all sound, but what are those cunts up there doing? That's the last thing they want. Do not forget to be nice. Remember that always.
Yes, always. And right now we have a very nice, multi-talented artist, someone who's been here under 3 different aliases, 3 different times. It's the man, Sid Stone. What you saying, bro? How you been, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Why this time Sid Stone? Why the name Sid Stone, man?
Fucking good question. I think, actually, first of all, I wanted to take a name for this project that sounded like the type of music I wanted to make.
Yeah.
So I love British music, I love punk, and I love I love festivals and Glastonbury, and I love fucking ancient Druid, King Arthur, all the beautiful history of this land that we live on.
Yeah.
But then I'm also a big fan of like soul music, and that's the sort of main musical influences. People like Sly Stone and Stevie Wonder and all those geezers. Their names is like normal first name and then like a magic second name.
Yeah.
It's like Sly Stone, Stevie Wonder, Frank Ocean. That's
yeah.
See, you didn't clock that.
No, I didn't. No,
I did my work. I did my homework. And there was this old geezer who used to look after me in Shepherd's Bush when I was a kid, and he was called Sid. And I always really liked him. And then, yeah, Sid Stone just had a bit of a ring to it.
It has an amazing ring to it, I can't lie. When I first heard it, I was like, that's a great name, 100%. And it really it's fitting with like the album you've made. Obviously, that's quite like a soulful singer-songwriter album. Like it's very like a stoic kind of name, you know? Like Stevie Wonder, Sid Stone, it does, like, now you say it, kind of very like rings a bell in terms of just like stays in your mind.
Well, that's a good thing, man. I'm glad if that's the case.
Yeah, so I mean, you've just put out your first EP under the name Sid Stone. Is it inside/outside or just inside/outside?
I could say inside/outside.
Inside/outside.
Saying the slash is a bit long.
Yeah, no, it's definitely long. So obviously, like a very like beautifully put together singer-songwriter project. How's your reaction been with this one, man?
It's been good. I mean, the truth of it is that I'd made that. I was calling it like a mixtape. I'd made this like long play of 5 or 6 different tracks. I made it in about sort of February maybe.
Yeah.
And it was all about, at the time I was living in Somerset, so I'd moved out of London to live in Somerset.
Yeah.
And I was really isolated. I was by myself in the middle of fucking the countryside.
Right.
And so I made this record where it was like a journey of my isolation, and part of it was like thinking back to being in London, and it was all about being alone basically.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to put it out. I got signed to this record label called Hot Spring. Shouts out to the boys at Hot Spring. And they wanted me to put out a different record. But then the lockdown happened, and I was like, fuck, the whole world is in isolation, and I've got this thing that I've made which is about isolation.
Yeah.
So I feel like
just perfect timing.
Just might as well pop it out there.
Wow.
But because it was like that, we didn't do any promo for it really. We just literally went plonk, no build up, nothing, 6 tracks just out there. And considering that we went about it that way, it's gone well. Like I've had a lot of personal response from friends and people I work with and family and stuff, and they're enjoying it, and it's sort of chugging along on the DSPs and whatnot. So
yeah, it seems to be doing quite good numbers, to be fair.
It's okay. Considering we didn't promo it, it's doing pretty good, yeah.
Plus, you're not even able to do live shows, which I feel like this project would be amazing, definitely. Like in a live setting.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah.
That's breaking my heart. I was talking to my boy yesterday, who shouts out to Gus. He's the driver and well, let's call him the backup dancer of the band. He was very excited, as we all were, for a tour. We were supposed to do a mini tour to Ireland in like August, and literally me and the boys were just gagging for it. And
yeah,
now,
of course.
And now we can't go. We don't really know. Like we were talking last night, when is gigs on again? Like when is this madness going to be over? It's
weird that you said Ireland, because this album really gives me like Van Morrison vibes.
Oh, sick.
Like your voice and stuff, and like obviously the songwriting. And I was just thinking like this would sound so sick in like a pub in Ireland.
An Irish pub. That's what we wanted to do, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit up like tiny capacity, 150 people maximum.
Yeah.
Old Irish pubs, get the Guinness on. Fucking old piano.
Yeah, 100%, mate. That would have been a vibe.
We will do it. I don't care what you say, New World Order. We're gonna go on that tour.
Yeah, mate, it's a weird time, man. Like, obviously, how you been dealing with with the coronavirus and everything going on right now?
Well, I think like anyone, man, it's been like ups and downs. It's been such a long, drawn out process that I think I came out the gates and I was killing it.
Yeah.
Beginning of lockdown, I was in Somerset. I was like, haha, all my friends are in London, breathing in the smog. I'm in the middle of the beautiful green hills. I was like, right, I'm going vegan. I'm quitting the fags. I'm not drinking. I went in. I was a lockdown warrior.
Right.
I bought this like water, it's like a water purifier for my mumsy. I was like, mumsy, you need clean water. I'm getting you a military grade water purifier. You know, I was going in, like end of the world shit. But then after a while, I started to be like, oh, but wait, is this gonna, like, how long is this gonna last?
Yeah.
Because there's a feeling for me, like, throughout the whole of lockdown, it's like, this is half like I'm on holiday, it's half like I'm on some like adventure camp, but also half like some Black Mirror episode, which is the end of the world.
Having a really nice time, but you also can't leave.
But I'm good, I'm glad to be back in London. Weirdly, I think I convinced myself that Somerset was the way and London was like, you know, a bad place to be. But when I came back here a few weeks ago, it's amazing, man. Seeing all the local from Shepherd's Bush, where we're both from.
Right.
Just local heads who drink at the White Horse and like the geezer in Nice, and he's like, "How's it going, boss?" I'm like, "Yes." These people know me. I've got friends. I forgot all about that.
It's really nice to obviously get away, you know, and like, because you know when you're in London for too long, you're always like, oh, I wish I could just get away from all of this. Like, you need the countryside. I think it's good to have that balance, though, isn't it? Because you know, being from the city, you love, like, it's such a good community, especially in London as well, like so multicultural.
100%, and I've always said it, but I now believe more than ever that Shepherd's Bush particularly is one of the most multicultural and like one of the most successfully vibrant communities that I've ever.
100%.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I used to chat a big game about it because that's where I'm from. But then, yeah, like you say, you live in London, you're like, oh, I want to get away, I want to get to the countryside, because it's always the grass is greener.
Right,
and then you get to the countryside, and it's good for a bit.
Yeah, for a little bit, yeah.
But like, I was born in a basement on Goldhawk Road.
Yeah,
so like, I'm not, so my whole, like that, you know, I'm used to that sound of the train going by. And so after a while, the sound of sheep, it starts to freak me out.
Yeah.
And I want to come back to the bush, and coming back is so great, man. I thought it was going to be really Black Mirror-ish being in London, but actually it was just when the lockdown started lifting that I come back and the sun was out and people were saying safe in the street, and people were like, I saw this geezer in the market giving out free smoothies to everyone. There was this real sense of like unity, man, which we need now more than ever.
We do. I mean, the government is trying to like, I don't know what's tearing us apart, the government, coronavirus, you know.
Everything, it seems like. There's more division going on in between different groups in society, between different ages and factions. It's all being exacerbated to the maximum. So to see a bit of unity, to see people from different places loving each other and just getting along is magic, man.
Do you think there's actually like a real divide amongst people, or do you think that's obviously just controlled and exacerbated by the media a lot of the time?
Once, especially if you have a long history of, well, this is a complex issue, but a long history of media spreading a certain narrative which tries to tell people, you and you don't get on. Whether it's like man and woman, you guys don't get on. Or different races, you guys don't get, you know. After a while, people, if their life is difficult, because the government's fucking them over, because life, like jobs are getting harder to get, benefits are getting worse, that life is hard, and then the media says, the reason why it's hard is because of those people. Get pissed off with them. And that's what sows the seeds. And
it's like a scapegoat. You know?
It is, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, they don't blame the bankers, blame the foreigners.
Innit? Because the last thing they want, mate, is for all people, black, white, man, women, all different genders and all that jazz, to get together and go, actually, you know what? You lot are all sound, but what are those cunts up there doing? That's the last thing they want, is for everyone to realise that, like, although there might be some tension, really your fellow man's never really fucked you over, but there is some other people, like, who are making billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of pounds at your expense the whole time, and always have done. You know what I mean? I believe that if there's a way of galvanizing everyone to realize, actually, squabbles aside, media aside, people are good people, and they might have been miseducated, they might have been brainwashed to think this or behave like that, but ultimately there's a whole load of other more powerful people who are manipulating the system, and that's who you should be getting angry with. And if we can do that and work together for love and harmony, then it's gonna be magic, you know?
100%, man. Wise words from Sid. No, wise words from Sid Stone there, mate. Let's get into one of the songs from your project. The single "Better Alone."
Maybe I'm better alone. No need to answer my phone. She's always taking the last of me. She don't know better, and maybe I'm better alone. Maybe I'm better alone.
Amazing music video, man. How did you come up with the idea for that?
Yeah, I did actually. That was one that came out of my brain, and yeah, worked alongside a good friend of mine, Tom Humphrey, and a lovely man called Fergus as well, and an amazing animator. You know, there's that animation sequence.
Yeah.
This girl Laura. I had the idea for the music video, which was about actually going from being in London and then wanting to get away from London and go to the countryside. That was the initial idea. And then I had this, I was just struck with this vision of like an animation sequence where I'm in the pub and then suddenly you go into my brain and I'm traveling on this train and I talked to this girl who I didn't even know at the time. She expressed an interest in working with me, and I was like, all right, yeah, imagine I'm like going on a train in my mind and I go into space and then I meet the universe, who's like a giant woman and she's naked, and then I told her this batshit crazy idea, and she's like, she's a beautiful, like cute French lady. She's like, yes, okay, sounds good, I would do. And she just smashed it.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I think the way it came out, the animation sequence is
mate,
amazing.
It's really cool.
Testament to her talent. She's a very talented woman.
Definitely, mate. And it's obviously an ode to obviously the White Horse in Shepherd's Bush.
Yes.
Were you conscious that it was closing down before you shot the music video? Or?
Yeah, I knew. Yeah. So I've been drinking there a while, and I knew that Mary, who's the old landlady, was leaving, and we actually shot the week before it closed, because we knew, we were like, okay, I knew it was going to close, and I was like, I've got to film something in there, and then we were going to put out Better Alone. So I was like, okay, let's do that. And actually, that was how the idea sort of started for the video.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about, like, obviously that shot in?
That's a beautiful place, the White Horse, where it was definitely, where a lot of people in Shepherd's Bush came to get their sort of dose of humanity, as well as a few Guinness. But but that place was really holding people's lives together. It was like a youth centre for old 50-year-old Irishmen.
I know, and like the amount of pubs that are probably going to be going down the Swanee now because of obviously the coronavirus and stuff, and like the economy being.
Bro,
yeah,
it's a sad thing. I think the loss of the pubs in Britain is actually it's just like a silent issue that's going to destroy a lot of communities. Yeah, because those pubs, especially not the modern gastro pubs, but like the actual salt of the earth pubs, they're holding together so many people's lives, and they're a real place of cultural exchange and social exchange in communities. And when you get rid of them, you think that it doesn't matter, it's just a pub. Nah, there's something golden in there, and when you lose it, you know. Yeah.
Let's get to another one of your tunes, man. This one's probably my favorite. I heard this one get produced and made in the studio. This one's called Through the Air. Yeah, what was the inspiration behind that tune, man?
To be honest with you, that's just like a philosophical thought about what is life, you know? Yeah. The chorus is, we're falling through the air, as in like, we are literally on a rock, falling through the air at millions of miles an hour. No one quite understands it, and the only response I had was, but in a nice way.
Right, yeah, and then with some lovely chords.
Yeah, the lyrics are just all about philosophy and what's life.
Yeah, fair. Talking about this song, actually, I saw a little video online of you playing this tune in a studio, and Stormzy just happened to be in the same studio as you. Yeah. So I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, you know, Big Michael, he's one of the boys. Yeah, well, he is sort of, I guess, not one of my boys really, but I used to spend time with him in the studio because he was working with my dear friend Fred. Yeah. And he's a very hard worker, Michael is, and he'll write. And so me and Fred would just do stuff to like distract him. And one of those things was me playing piano. And actually, that video that Fred does, where he like starts with Michael and then he goes through, that's where the idea of Inside Outside came from. Because Fred would do these videos where he'd start outside somewhere, and like in that place in Acton, would be the car park, and then he would film going all the way in, and then you're in this wild like red velvet studio.
Right.
And he would call them inside outside videos. Anyway, yeah.
Did he listen to any of this album at all?
He's off the grid at the moment, so I don't know. I haven't sent it to him, but I'm sure we will.
But did he listen to it like in the studio at all? No.
He's heard me sing songs. Yeah. He's heard me singing tunes, and he's also heard me rapping.
Oh really?
Yeah. He
That's
gave me a shout out once.
Oh, where?
Well, I did this stupid song where I was rapping with Flodan, me and Flodan, on a song produced by Fred, and there's one bar where I said, "Paul Scholes scores goals and I do shit, mash up the dance on a Butlins cruise ship."
Nice.
And Stormzy gave me a lot of love for that.
That's jokes.
Said it was a good bar. So I'm quite proud of myself.
That's actually kind of insane, slightly. You have a tune with Flodan?
Yeah. That's silly, isn't it?
Yeah, that is quite silly to me.
But yes. Yes.
So, yeah, are we expecting a rap album to come out in the
Well,
next year?
no, that's the thing. I don't really know what to do. I mean, you should see my manager. He's got no idea what to do.
Yeah.
But I like doing lots of different stuff. I'm influenced by loads of different types of music. I love so many different types of music. I don't think it's natural for a human being to only want to do one style of creativity. You know, we all love loads of stuff. Why not play around with it, you know?
Another song that I heard getting made in the studio that day was Noel.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yeah.
That's another amazing tune. I can hear that tune being on like an ending of a film or something.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, something like that. Like I think it's definitely like a movie kind of song. Like,
mate, if there is any music supervisors out there who want to give me a sync, that would be lovely.
That'd be
I've got
beautiful.
space in my bank account for that. Sweet. Get in touch.
what's the inspiration behind that song being?
Oh, that's a sad song. That is a sad old song. That is I actually wrote that well, actually this is going to sound really lame. I'm not even going to say that. But I wrote that when I was in another country, and I just had this rubbish guitar, and it had like 2 strings on it. So all I could play was no, 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 no. And it was just about being like, I don't know, I went off and like left London to go traveling by myself, and I just got to the first place, and I was just sat there like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh,
So I was like,
really?
am I going crazy? Am I going nowhere? You know, I didn't really know what I was doing. Then I developed the song, and I built it more. It was about just sort of, when you go through life, and sometimes you don't, no one really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like everyone's sort of just blagging it.
100%,
Really?
yeah.
And like sometimes there's stuff that hurts, and like, you know, I try and write songs where it's sort of like about specific things to me, but I keep it vague so people can when they listen to it, they can put their own emotional stuff onto it. So it's just sort of about just like making your way through life, and I like the idea of a song being like sad victory, I call it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's really sad, but there's like a sense that maybe you're gonna win, like bravery in the face of defeat type shit.
Yeah, I understand what you're
And
saying.
that chorus, that like la la la, it's like all this sad things going on, but then what's the conclusion? Just la 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 la.
Yeah.
Carry on, man.
Like being happy in the hell we're kind of living, in the hell you're kind of living in, you know?
Exactly.
Being present and like noticing that it's happening, and like seeing that, oh yeah, like this is kind of shit, but you know what? I'm still alive.
Yes.
You know, and this is what the universe is giving me right now, so why not just enjoy it?
Very wise, bro.
Yeah.
And just finding peace and like allowing yourself to smile and breathe even when the storm is raging all around you.
I want to end it on one last question. Obviously, like, it's 2020. The world seems to look like it's going to end any day now for some weird reason.
Truth.
So if the world ended tomorrow, what is one thing of yours you'd want, like a new life form or a species to find that you'd want to be remembered by?
What, like a tune I've made or something?
Just
Or
like
anything?
any one thing like you have, or like, you know, that would sum up who Sid Stone is, or your government name.
Oh man, that is such a good question, but also I'm kind of annoyed at you, Dr. Evil, for putting that on me, because how am I going to think of a cool enough answer for that? My first thought was, I once wrote this poem on a piece of paper which says, happiness whispers, quieten your mind and you will hear it. So if the aliens found that one poem written on a piece of paper, I'd be like, That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There might be something better than that, but
That was pretty sick.
I'll be fine with that.
No, all right. So I want to thank you for coming on, Sid.
Thank you for having me.
Where can people find your music?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, all over the internet, YouTube. We got some videos on there. We're putting out a cover of Hey Ya by Outkast over the next couple of weeks as well, so keep your eyes out for that. And yeah, stay locked. We're on Instagram as well, Sid Stone.
Sid the Stone at Instagram. We're gonna end on a Sid the Stone track. Yeah, this has been the end of the show. Right on time. Follow us at BabyFace_music_ on Twitter and on Instagram. Yeah, we're gonna be back in the studio every other Tuesday now. I can't bloody wait. It's been great to have you back as my first guest. You're actually my first ever guest as well. And you've been the most repeating guest. I've had you on 3 times now, mate, and so you're part of the family here,
bro, thank you. That makes me feel great. Thank
no,
you,
100%, mate. Yeah,
Love that.
yeah, no. You, your brother, all who's affiliated with you is always welcome on BabyFace, mate.
Sick, man. Well, we appreciate that very much. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
This one's Sticks and Stones by Sid Stone. Peace, guys.